Hey, welcome to RapidUI. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the whole process of turning your designs into fully functional, interactive and responsive websites with just a few clicks and without writing a single line of code. Basically, all you have to do is drag your design file into RapidUI, watch it turn into HTML and CSS, and once it's done, use our advanced tools to create interactions, animations, sliders, menus, links, pop-ups, buttons, whatever else you might think of and you want to put in your site. Okay, so let's start with a general introduction to the platform. As you can see, here is the main menu, which contains from left to right elements section, which allows to turn your designs into live and functioning elements or add ready-made elements to your site. Right next to it is animate section, which allows create advanced interactions, animations, or add our own animations to your site's objects. Right next to it is styling, which allows full styling control on all of your site objects, whether it's after you've uploaded your design, whether you want to make changes or create new styles, everything is possible. Right next to it is code section, which allows the edit of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript events freely without any platform limitations at all. Next to it is responsive section. It lets you control how your site will look according to different screen resolutions. So basically you can add or manage your breakpoints, which lets you control your site's design according to the screen resolution and create automatic versions of your design according to the resolution. Here is the resolution navigator, which allows you to watch your site in any resolution you want. Not only desktop, tablet and mobile, but any resolution you can think of. Simply drag the resolution bar to change the screen resolution display. This is the user editor modes. Editor modes allows to edit your site, make changes, resize, move, drag, whatever you want, while user mode lets you use your site as a user without leaving the studio. So basically it's like preview mode. It's just within the platform, live. You don't have to move anywhere. You can work with user flows while editing your site. What we see here is layers panel at the top, which contains all of your site layers, depends on your design's layers. Right beneath it is positioning panel, which allows full positioning control on every site object. And at the bottom is options panel that allows different options, depends on the selected object. Okay, now I'm gonna upload my PSD. Simply drag and drop it in the center of the studio and wait for it to fully upload. This part takes about 2 minutes, so I'm gonna speed it up just a bit. So the PSD upload is finished. Now you're asked to set the center part of your design. This part will help you achieve better responsive results much faster by adjusting objects according to their distance from the right side, the left side, or just keep them centered. This part is called Rapid Layout. Objects that are fully located within the blue striped boxes will always stay positioned according to their distance from right or left, while objects in the center will always stay centered. You can easily resize the boxes in order for it to fit to your design. This way, include or exclude any object you want. Once you're finished, click Done. Okay, now let's check the results. I'm going to move to a bigger screen resolution. You'll see that all of the objects are still positioned according to right, left, or center. Let's open the positioning panel. So you can see this object according to the right, the other ones according to the left. Now let's turn the menu design into an actual menu. Meet Rapid Elements. These tools will turn your designs into live elements such as menus, forms, sliders, maps, buttons, and much more. As you can see, here are the common elements the menu objects, the form objects, and the slider objects. So we're going to go back to menu objects. First, select the object we want to turn into a link, the text object this time, and click Rapid Link. Once the link is made, you'll see the options panel, which contains different options depends on the object. Here we'll select scroll in page. In the scroll type, we can choose either anchor or position. We'll select anchor. Then we'll select the object we want to scroll to as anchor. And we'll finish with offset of 200 pixels, depends on your design. I'm going to close the position panel and switch to user mode, which lets us see the site as a user without leaving the studio. As you can see, the link has worked exactly like we wanted it. So I'm going to go through the exact same steps for the rest of the menu and create links. Next, I'm going to turn this image into a button in the exact same way, but choose external URL. Just type the URL you want to link to and you're done. This object, I'm going to make it scroll to position, just to the top of the page, position 0. As you can see, the scrolling is just like we wanted it, so let's select all of the objects and click Rapid Menu. Now the only thing left to do is to pin the menu to the page so we won't scroll while I'm scrolling down. So we're going to select the menu and click the right click. In the right click menu, we'll select Pin to Page. Now as you can see, the menu is stuck to the head of the page while scrolling. This of course will work with any type of object, not only with menus. Next, let's create the slider. As you can see here are all the slider objects, the left and right arrows, the bottom bullets, and the background image which should slide. So we're going to move to slider objects and first select the first arrow and click Rapid Arrow. Then we'll select the second arrow and click Rapid Arrow once again. Once the second arrow is finished, let's select the bullets and click Rapid Bullets. This can work with a single image of bullets, separate images, or shapes. Great, now let's select all of the slider layers, the images that we turn into arrows, the bullets, and the slide, and click Rapid Slider. I've selected the background image which contains all of the other layers within. Great, now I'm going to go back to user mode with Control or Command Space, depends on your device, and see that the slider is working just like I wanted it. Slider can work with arrows and bullets, arrows only, or bullets only. Great, so let's keep adding life to our design. Next in line is the contact form. Okay, so let's go to Form Objects in Rapid Elements section. We'll start with our inputs. We'll select the objects we want to turn into an input. In this case, it's text and an underline, and click Rapid Input. We're going to do the same action with all of the three inputs. They're all the same. Next in line is the text area. We'll select all the necessary object and click Rapid Text Area. And at the end, we'll select all of the objects we want to turn into the Submit button and click Rapid Submit. Once we're done, we'll select all of the form objects we've just created and click Rapid Form. We can add validation to our inputs to make sure that people will use them as we want. So in this time, I'm going to use native validation. For this input, I'm going to use email type and valid email validation. And let's see, as you can see, it won't let me send the form without writing the necessary fields and without doing it the right way. Like this one, he's asking me for proper email address. Once I've inserted all of the correct details, the form will be sent. Great, now let's add some animations to our site. So I'm going to move to Animate section and select the object I'd like to add animation to. Then, as you can see, I can choose between hover animation, scroll into view, click, or when loaded. So I'm going to select the hover animation, select the animation I'd like to add, and when I switch to user mode, you can see that the animation is worked. Let's select another object, and this time click animation. Let's choose shake, and as you can see, when I click the text, it shakes. Now we can turn the map into an actual map. This one is just an image. So I'm going to select the map, go back to Rapid Elements, and simply click Rapid Map. Once it's done, you can see that you can choose the address and more options such as title, zoom, type. And the best one, you can change your map's color according to what fits best to your design. Great, now let's create a bit more complex interaction with our site. Close and open a pop-up. So we went back to Elements section, this time create elements and not Rapid Elements. I'm going to select the container and draw wherever I want to place it within my site. Anytime I want to add an item to my site, first we select the object and then we mark where we want it to be. Once I've added a container to my site, I can choose to design within or upload a separate PSD file. So I've uploaded a PSD file, I confirmed that I wanted to place it within the container, and now it's uploading a second PSD file to the same design. So what we want is this icon to close the container. So first I'm going to move to Rapid Elements and make a button out of it. You don't have to, but I did it anyway. Now I'm going to move back to Animate section, this time create a trigger. First we need to select what kind of trigger do we want. This time I'm going to select click. Next we'll select what do we want to do with that trigger. So this time I'm going to hide an object. Then I'm asked which object, so I'm going to type container1, that's the name of the object, and click done. Now I'm going to click the icon to close and see that the pop-up actually closed. Now we want to make this object open the pop-up, so I'm going to add a trigger. Same one, click trigger. This time I'm going to show object instead. Same object, container1, only this time we're going to add an animation. So I'm going to write animate object, same object, container1, select one of the animations, and as you can see, it opens the pop-up and creates animation. You can resize and make changes within the pop-up. All you have to do is switch to editor mode and switch back to user to close it. Another thing we want to do is change the cursor of this object to pointer while the mouse is hovering above it. So this is the styling panel, which allows full control over our object styling, colors, sizing, direction, border, whatever we want to do, we can do it from styling panel. What we see here are the active rules, the active styling rules that apply on the object. So we can see that the text color is black, the font family, the size, etc. Let's change the font color so you can feel it. I'm going to change it to red. As you can see, the font has been changed. If we open this section, we can see all of the available styling rules that we can apply on the object. If the section before showed us all of the active rules that already apply, this section shows us all of the styling rules we can add on to the same object. They're divided into categories, so they'll be easy to find. We're going to go to General and change the cursor to pointer. And it changed the object's cursor to pointer. Okay, now I'm going to add another styling change, this time a border to the pop-up. We'll select the pop-up, go to the border section, change the color, the size, and the type. And as you can see, now we have a border. Great, now let's meet the code section. So as you can see, when no object is selected, the page code is shown. And when I select the object, I can see his code only. Every visual edit we make, such as moving the object, will change and affect the code immediately. Same for the opposite way. When I change the code, this time the CSS, the object will move to where I wanted it to move. We can also add and edit JavaScript events with no limitations at all. Simply switch to JavaScript events. In order to add an event, click the plus icon. I'm going to select an object that we already created an event for. As you can see, click event, and here's your code. Okay, next is responsive section. Responsive section lets us add or edit, manage our breakpoints, manage our resolutions, how our site looks in different screen resolutions, because in some cases centering our site objects won't be enough. As you can see, when I change the screen resolution, some objects don't fit anymore. So what I want to do is make them look different in separate screen resolutions. So I'm going to add a breakpoint at this point, 1450 pixels. This is where I want it to change, and I'm going to add another breakpoint at 1100 pixels because I would like to add another change from that resolution. So this time we're going to use scale to fit tool. This tool automatically scales our site design from one resolution to the other. So we basically tell him copy this resolution's design and implement it on this one. So in this case we want to scale the purple breakpoint from 1100 to 1450 to look exactly like the resolution above it. So I'm going to press scale now. And here's the effect. As you can see, now our site looks good within the purple resolution. We'll switch to the green resolution and we'll create the same scale from 768 to 1100, and it worked like we wanted. We can obviously make changes within these resolutions. It's important to remember that every change you make within a breakpoint will only affect this breakpoint. So I've moved the image, and as you can see, when I move to the default resolution, it did not move. Same here. If I'll change the text, it will only affect the green breakpoint. Okay, so the last breakpoint that's left, the last resolution we need to fix is the mobile breakpoint. So we can either make changes, visually resize, or we can upload a separate PSD file to the mobile breakpoint. It will only upload to the mobile breakpoint without affecting desktop or tablet resolution. Once again, this PSD upload takes about 2 minutes, so I'm going to speed it up. Okay, so now that the PSD upload is finished, we want to add live to our mobile design, same as we did to the desktop. So first I'm going to select these two objects that we want to be the menu icon and go to Rapid Elements section and click Rapid Button. Now when I've created the button, I can go to Animate section in order for it to close and open the menu. So I'm going to select a click trigger. I'm going to select this time toggle, which means show and hide. We'll tell them to show and hide the menu, and this time I'm going to add collapse down animation and click done. I'm going to switch to user mode, and when I click the icon, the menu closes and opens with the collapse animation. Okay, now let's make the mobile slider. So first we're going to select the bullets. We'll go to Rapid Elements section, go to Slider Objects and click Rapid Bullets. Next, I'm going to select both the background image and the bullets and click Rapid Slider. Let's move back to user, and we can see that the slider is working. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down, and now I would like to turn the map into an actual map. This one is just an image now. So I'm gonna go back to Common Transformers and click Rapid Map. And scroll to the bottom of the page to finish our mobile design, our form. So I'm gonna select the input objects and click Rapid Input. I'm gonna do the same thing to the 3 inputs. Next is the text area. And last is the submit button. Once they're all done, I'm going to select all of the objects and click Rapid Form. Okay, let's make sure the form is working. As you can see, the inputs are working. And when I click send, the form is sent. Okay, great. So we've finished our mobile design. Everything is working like we wanted. We have created tablet version desktop that is fully responsive. We've created functionality, interactivity, animations, everything we wanted. The only thing that's left is putting our site online. So preview lets us see our site, see a preview version of our site. While this icon, the publish icon, opens this pop-up that asks us if we want to publish under RapidUI domain, publish under our own unique domain, or export the code. All 3 options are available. It's up to you, whatever is best for you. Okay, 3 more things that are good to know when working in RapidUI. So the 3 icons at the bottom right of the screen. The top icon is the revision history. We can go back to any revision we have saved during our work on that page. The third icon is our chat. If you need any assistance regarding any issue, don't hesitate. We're on the other side ready to help. While the middle icon is a link to our help center where you can find answers to all of your questions. Okay, so this is it. This is how you turn your own design into a fully functional, responsive website within 20 minutes using RapidUI. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed.